Welcome back, traders. Going to continue my back testing of 2024. This week, going to finish off the last week of July from the 29th and going into August 2nd. Now, last week we had a red week, so hopefully this week we can bring it around. Right now, I'm looking at the daily chart and we have this big decline down below this weekly fair value gap. Now, I'm noting this daily fair value gap. Okay, it's rather large on the upper portion of this weekly fair value gap. I'm anticipating this week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, to come up into this daily fair value gap. Hopefully we don't retrace all the way, maybe halfway, maybe to this daily order block. And then I'm looking for price to drop down below last week's low and looking for the sell side below this swing low. We'll see if we get that or not. For any bullish ideas, we'll have to get back above this weekly BTC. Okay, so Monday, July 26th. Looking at the hourly chart, we have buy side right here. It's just below that daily SIBI. So I anticipate us going above this high, perhaps into this hourly fair value gap. I'll highlight it once we start getting closer, but there's also a smaller level of buy side here above these relative equal highs that accumulated over the weekend. Sell side, we have the swing low, but I don't really anticipate us going down below here before we start heading up, because this fair value gap, with this drop down, it went into this fair value gap and now it's slowly climbing up. So I think that is enough. But I'm going to go into the 15-minute, see if there's anything I can see here. Like even this fair value gap, we dropped down and we're kind of displacing up. Now we could take out the sell side below here. So I'm just going to mark this out, but I guess it'd be good if we can take out the sell side, and then I'll be looking for a bullish fair value gap to the upside, but we don't necessarily have to get that. We could just have a bullish fair value gap and start going up. But I'm anticipating maybe 8:30 or 9:30. Now that I look at it on the 5-minute, I think I would like to see a swing low or a sweep below the swing low. Okay, so 8:30, we didn't get a sweep below the swing low. Instead, we just started displacing up higher. We took out the buy side relative equal highs already. So now I'm just kind of waiting to see what's going to go on. I still think maybe 9:30 we could come down and take out these lows right here. And it's just revisiting my higher time frame idea. Like I want price to go into here. So instead of like sweeping the swing low and going up, maybe we're just going to go ahead and take out the buy side up here. And then I'll look for shorts going to the downside. So remember, I am going to be short bias going into this week. And this is actually a pretty good sign. So I think maybe if we get a reversal here, that could prompt me to want to go short, but I kind of want to see us go into the red before trying to take any shorts. Okay, so we're getting closer to 9:30 and we have declined from that pop up. Looks like we may be taking out this sell side right here at 9:30. Not exactly sure what I want to do. It is a Monday after all, so maybe I won't do anything today. But I'm thinking maybe it looks like we already took out sell side down here. So just going to change this. But at 9:30, what I'm expecting is a pop up. We'll see if we can take out this high one more time, or if we're just going to go into this big drop, like maybe into, let's say, the maybe this fair value gap up here, or maybe just this one right here. I'll go ahead and draw it out. Okay, so one of these three fair value gaps, we'll see if we get a pop into one of these three and we start going down one more time and make it short then, or are we going to go through all the way up and take out the swing high and go into that daily fair value gap? That's actually what I prefer to see, because then if we go into the daily fair value gap and then we start displacing lower, that'll give me more confidence that in the higher time frame we're going to go down some more. But right now, just going to wait a little bit. I don't think going in right at 9:30 is a good idea. So I'm just going to kind of wait. Maybe I'll wait until around 10 o'clock before thinking about getting into a short. All right, so after 9:30, you can see what happened. We went down, created relative equal lows here at the sell side, didn't take it out. And then we went up and we created a new high a day, which is kind of what I was thinking, right? So I drew all these fair value gaps. Drew all these fair value gaps out, but yeah, I was thinking we're gonna go up higher into that daily fair value gap. So just gonna kind of wait. I want to see a poke up into it, and then we're going to drop lower. That's kind of what I'm anticipating. Now, today is Monday, so maybe if some kind of fair value gap develop, I could take a long into that daily fair value gap, but that's not the preferred bias, bearish bias. So want to go short, but I don't know. We'll see. If I have a good reward to risk, then yeah, I could try to take a long, but I prefer to take shorts. All right, here we go, guys. A little bit after 10 o'clock, after making a higher high, we dropped down a little bit. Then we made another higher high. Didn't quite get into that fair value gap on the daily, but with this big drop, taking out all these up candles, I'm thinking we're definitely going to be taking out the sell side liquidity here. So if we can get some kind of a pop up, I would like to have a short entry here with my risk. Don't really want to have it too high. Well, how much is it here? 77. That's a little too high for me. I want to lower the risk a little bit. I guess going to this candle, I'll leave it at the high of this order block, right? So from 11 to 58, it's about 47 points of risk. I could go ahead and just go ahead with one contract here. I believe that will be good enough. And as you can see, if I just take one contract here at this entry with a stop up there, it's going to be 0.75% risk. So that's what I'm going to go shoot for. I want to just see pretty much like a quick pop up there and then go for the sell side. If the sell side gets taken, then I'm going to cancel this trade. Okay, so in the next 5 minutes, it did give me that pop. There was another smaller fair value gap. I didn't quite see this because every time I press the skip button, it goes ahead like 10 minutes. So this candle finished forming. This one developed. I didn't quite see this one, but it did pop up into this one because even if this fair value gap formed, I really wouldn't want to take it here because the risk to reward is not that great. It will be about 1-to-1. This I will get about 1.5-to-1, maybe 2-to-1. And yeah, so this candle is forming right now. I want to see pretty much a quick drop down for the sell side, and I'll take my trade off down here. Okay, so it kind of was a little choppy here for a bit. It did come up and take out this high. Sometimes you're going to get that, so you don't really want to move your stop loss down right away. So even with this down candle, these two down candle moves, it didn't close below these up candles. So you don't really have any reasons to move your stop here. If you did, you're going to get stopped out more times than less. So I just looked at my stop up here, and now that after it took out this high and now it's closing below all this consolidation, below all this up movement, I'm pretty confident that it's going to go down here. And since it took out this low already, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop to break even. I think a good place would be at the high of this order block, and this was also a fair value gap here that was created, so have a little bit of a protection on that PD array. So my stop is here, definitely break even, a little bit in the profit if I get stopped out, but I'm going to go ahead and anticipate this move down here and take my trade off. All right, and there you have it. Pretty easy trade, nothing too difficult. The only thing was, it didn't really go into that higher time frame daily fair value gap, but because we did sweep the highs once and twice, and then this big down movement right here, a lot of times you'll think, oh, I missed the move, I can't get in anymore, I'm going to close my chart and not do anything. Well, sometimes it will just run away from you, and it won't come back and retrace for you to enter, but sometimes it will. And this is one of those instances where you have your entry up here, you're looking for this fair value gap, right? This is also probably optimal trade entry. So what I mean is, if you take a fib from this high to this low, I know the model doesn't really call for Fibonacci's, right? But if you do this, you can see that it doesn't quite get to optimal trade entry, but if you go down to the sell side target, it does get into a premium range. Anyways, this was a successful trade. Gonna see what the rest of the action is like for the rest of the day, but probably that's it for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Tuesday. So that was a pretty good trade, almost 2-to-1. You can see it's 1.9 to 1, and pretty much made up the loss from last week. So already starting off with a good week. But you can see after the price went down, it did go below the weekly fair value gap for just a little bit, and then it pretty much kind of reversed. Well, not really, but it retraced a whole lot. A lot of big movement, and now we're kind of just closing here within the weekly fair value gap. Still kind of at low, still at the low of that weekly fair value gap. I'm sure it's going to do some stuff overnight, but we'll take a look at what the pre-market looks like tomorrow morning. Alrighty, so this is Tuesday morning, 8:15. You can see those the relative equal highs right here. Remember, this was my target from yesterday on Monday. Didn't get taken just yet. I think today is a good setup to go ahead and take this and go into this daily fair value gap. We have relative equal highs now. It went back down and took out the sell side below this swing low, not this one, but these two. That's good enough. And now looking at the pre-market action, no fair value gap except for this one. It is below this one as well, so kind of don't really want to see this get tapped into. It could, but we'll go down to the 15-minute to see if there's something a little bit closer to home. I can see that we have a little bit of choppiness here. We have these relative equal lows, so this could be a good sell side sweep. And then once we sweep the sell side here, then I'm looking for price to draw up into that daily fair value gap. So even though I am higher time frame bearish, we still haven't tapped into this daily fair value gap on the higher time frame. So we could short-term trade long going into that daily fair value gap. All right, guys, so a little bit before 9:30, we didn't do much pre-market, 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Like, it was just pretty much consolidating. So I feel like something big is going to happen at 9:30. We took out this swing high pre-market. So I'm looking for 9:30 to come down pretty fast, take out these relative equal lows. And then I want to see like a reversal up for this daily fair value gap. Am I going to take the very first one? I don't know. Maybe I want to wait for a confirmation fair value gap because my higher time frame bias is to the downside. So we'll see. We'll see. If the risk is small enough on the first fair value gap, maybe I'll go ahead and take a chance on that one with half my normal risk. All right, so it took a while for the price to come down here. It is a little bit after 10 o'clock right now, but we finally went ahead and took out the sell side sweep below these relative equal lows. We even went down and poked below this swing low as well. Now, what I want to see from here is I want to start seeing fair value gaps to the upside. I may take the first one if the risk is reasonable, but I kind of want to wait for a confirmation fair value gap as long as it doesn't take out this high. Okay, so 11 o'clock and never really gave me that retracement, never gave me like a reversal or anything. It just kept going down. It was a little slow at first, but then right here, this big drop, we took out the sell side below there. And just zooming out to the 1 hour, we have this as our low. We do have one here as well. It already kind of swept all this sell side down here. Looking at this more and more, we probably won't be coming up for this daily fair value gap. These relative equal highs may be left for a future event, but right now it really looks like it wants to come down for these sell sides. And we are higher time frame bearish bias. So going back to the 5-minute, this could be a potential trade, although it is pretty close to the target. I think if we come back up to like maybe 50% of this fair value gap, that could be a potential entry. So something like entering here with the risk, let's say above here. And let me just add the price in just so we know what that is from 50. So this is too much of a range, it's like 90 points. So just gonna have to wait, see what develops. Maybe we come back up here and it sets up for another fair value gap or something. Okay, so you see we came back up into this large fair value gap. Now I did mention it is pretty close to our target, so we may not get a lot of retracement, right? And that's to our benefit. We don't really want to see a lot of retracement. You can see this 5-minute up candle, right? This is like the only up candle within like this area here. And we have now traded and potentially closing below it. So could potentially have a trade here. Let me just zoom in a little bit to this price action. You can see that we potentially have a fair value gap here. So I could try for an entry short at this fair value gap with my stop here at the high. Now, this is not a super high probable trade, right? Because we could easily just come, take out this high and retrace back more into this fair value gap, rebalance this some more, and then start heading down. So it could be like a breaker, right? Like a high, low, higher high, and then we start coming down for the sell side. But this is a potential trade idea. I may want to just, shoot for one contract here. It is 25 points of risk, so perfectly normal. If this fair value gap remain intact, I'll go ahead and shoot for one contract and we'll see if it ever develops. Okay, so you can see I was trying for that small little fair value gap, but we just died right here. We just went down for the sell side. And now that the sell side got hit, I am not going to be using that trade anymore. We could still potentially retrace back up into this fair value gap, take a trade down here for this lower one, but I'm already done. I mean, we went from up here all the way down here. This was like what, 300 points of movement or something. So I'm not really going to touch it today. Unfortunately, I missed my opportunity. I think the best opportunity if you want to go short would have been here, but I wasn't really looking for that, right? I was wanting price to come up for that daily fair value gap. Didn't quite give it, but I think going into the rest of this week, I may be looking for more shorts and ignoring these relative equal highs. And we may not come back up here. And this is what the action looks like end of day. We did come back and go into this fair value gap around lunchtime. And then at 12:45, we headed for the sell side. This was, remember, this sell side was the big consolidation right here, this low, and we've taken it out. And then for the rest of the afternoon, we kind of just consolidated in this area, and then towards the end of the day at the close, we pretty much had a big drop down, came back into this fair value gap, so could anticipate another big drop down going into tomorrow. But with all of this right here, I think maybe we want to rebalance this a little bit, but let's take a look at what tomorrow morning looks like. Okay, so this is July 31st, last day of the month, 8:15. It is a Wednesday, and looking at a 4-hour chart, I'm not, after we came down and took out the sell side below here, we took out this sell side, there's not really any nearby sell side until we get to our higher time frame sell side target here. And looking at the 4-hour, you can see this big down candle, but now we are kind of going above it. So again, I'm thinking that we're going to go for these relative equal highs going into this daily fair value gap. I think maybe if you look at power of 3, Monday we had here, this Tuesday could be the low of the week. So we could actually come up into this fair value gap, maybe even go above it and start being bullish again. So just going to keep that in mind. I think I'm going to flip my bias for just today, looking for these relative equal highs and looking for the target to go into this daily fair value gap. And now let's go ahead and head down to the 1 hour. Get rid of all these lines because they're distracting. So zooming in on the 1 hour, I'm not really seeing any inefficiencies here. So I don't anticipate price to come down to like, this area here. The only one is this hourly fair value gap right here at the low of the weekly fair value gap. So this is the most potential if it does want to come down anymore. So let's go down to the 15-minute to see if there's anything. And not really. I mean, you can see all this consolidation here. So yeah, if we want a sell side sweep, I think going down into this 1 hour fair value gap is the only reasonable choice. On the upside, we have a swing high here. So buy side here. And of course, my target is going to be that daily fair value gap, perhaps a partial here and then go into here. But I think it's very, very likely that we're going to go up into the daily fair value gap. So I may not take a partial there, but I'm just keeping in mind that we do have a little bit of sell side. Maybe we take out the buy side, a little bit of buy side. Maybe we take out this buy side first, then come down for a tap into this hourly fair value gap. And then the real move starts going into that daily fair value gap. So we'll see what happens. I think I'm going to wait for 8:30, going to wait for 9:30. may not do anything until 10 o'clock. So just gonna want to keep watch of everything, and I'll let you know if I see anything I like. Okay, so this is a little bit after 9:30. Remember, the sell side I have is down here, but as you can see, at 8:30 we created this fair value gap, and at 8:30 we did tap into it, went into that first buy side. Remember, that was like the partial target, whatever, and then it came up and pretty much like created equal highs with that daily fair value gap. So I don't know if it's enough. I mean, potentially it could be enough to send us lower, but I have a feeling it wants to dig deeper into that daily fair value gap. So where is it coming down to? Well, it's coming down into this fair value gap, into this order block. Is that going to be enough? I guess it could, because we already, tapped into this fair value gap. This was not tapped into, now it is. But I don't know. I kind of want to see a sweep the sell side, but we may not come back down that much. So just going to wait a little bit more for 10 o'clock to see if anything develops. This could potentially have been a trade if you wanted to trade around 8:30, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Hopefully we'll see something about 10 o'clock, 10:30. All right, guys, so it is a little bit after 10:30. Didn't really see anything, because if you look at all the move here, I'm not seeing any fair value gaps at all. It pretty much just slowly crept into the daily fair value gap, and just kind of zooming out a little bit, or just, you can see that 50% is about here. We're kind of about at the lower quarter of the daily fair value gap. But on the weekly, if you look at the weekly here, this is about 50%. I'm kind of thinking like, we could be going there. Now, this is potentially a fair value gap, right? But I'm not really interested in taking it. Now that we've taken out the buy side, now that we've gone into the daily fair value gap, I'm actually looking for a reversal. I'm looking for price to go down. I want to take a short, aim for the sell side here. This was the morning sell side at the 9:30 open, and then all the sell side down here below, and this is that 1 hour fair value gap. I'm actually looking for a price to drop down there. So the potential trade idea I have for this morning is I want to see a reversal. So this fair value gap, sure, we can have it happen, but I kind of want to see price go down below the swing low, then use this fair value gap as inversion to go down lower. But we'll see what happens. We could just keep going up and up and up. Just going to give it a little bit more time, maybe around like 11 o'clock, or today we may not even trade. Maybe we're just kind of like setting up the buy side liquidity sweep, and then we'll go down lower on Thursday and Friday. So just going to give it this a little bit more time. Okay, so we're starting to head lower now. Remember this fair value gap, I was wanting this to be like an inversion fair value gap. I'll go ahead and draw it out. Not sure what color to give it. All right, decided to give it like a purple pink kind of color. I want it to kind of stand out. I want to see price use it as inversion. We actually potentially could have a small fair value gap right here. So if we do want to take it right now, we could have our stop up here and our entry down here. This is going to be like 35 points of risk. And, I don't know, we could dig deeper into the daily fair value gap. So I don't really want to take this. I mean, I'm marking this out. You'll see it'll just be white. I'm not taking an entry here, but I would like to see a confirmation fair value gap. I actually don't think, this is going to like, not closed. I mean, it's going to get closed in, I think, because it's a small fair value gap. I think it's going to go back for this inversion fair value gap. Then on a confirmation fair value gap, I will enter short, taking partial below the swing low and looking ultimately for price to go down all the way to this 1 hour fair value gap. All right, so we don't get this used as inversion. You can see that we've closed above it already. It looks like it's going higher. So just taking all of my drawings off right here and just watching what price is going to do for the rest of the morning. You can see I only got 1 hour left, and I don't think I'm going to be doing anything today. Just going to watch, and maybe something will set up for tomorrow. So here's what price looks like at the end of the day. We pretty much just consolidated at the low of that daily fair value gap. And then around the PM session at the start, we did come down for a sweep here, didn't go down below the swing low, and then it kind of rallied up for a new high of the day and just kind of chopped around a little bit, closing up on the day. So I think nothing really too much to do today. I didn't really see any big dramatic movements, so to not take any trade today was a perfect plan. And now let's go ahead and go into Thursday. Okay, Thursday, August 1st, 8:15 in the morning, and as you can see, we're digging deeper into that daily SIBI. If we take a Fibonacci, go up from the low to the high, you can see we are around equilibrium, around 50% of that daily fair value gap. If we're going to draw out liquidity, we have buy side liquidity above here, so we could take that. Now if we're going to start turning bullish, yeah, we're going to take this and we're going to go above this daily fair value gap, above the weekly fair value gap. But if we're going to be bearish, I still kind of want to see a sweep of this buy side liquidity, but then start heading down. I don't want to see price go above or even close to the top of the fair value gap. I want to see price go down, create some kind of fair value gap, and aim for this low. This low, we could still come down into this low. I'm going to take this 1 hour fair value gap off. I don't really think it's that relevant. But yeah, and then this, I'm going to move it to this swing low, just to be a little bit more conservative. And of course, we have sell side below this swing low. So go down to the lower time frame and just walk it through today. All right, so far we're kind of coming down to that short-term swing low. 8:30, we didn't really do too much, kind of just chopped around a little bit. We did sweep above this swing high, didn't go up above these. And we, you know, I thought if we're going to be bearish, we're going to come for these buy side first and then go down. But since we're going down first, I'm expecting 9:30 to sweep the sell side and then maybe head for these relative highs. So the market could be turning bullish again